Okay, hi. So real quick, I just wanted to show you today I decided to make hydrosol. I did order a home distiller and this is the first time I'm using it, so I'm going to walk you through it just a little bit and I'll be including it in one of the previous blog posts that I did. So let me turn the camera around. Okay. All right, so here we are. This is the home distiller. And this is really interesting. I'm not 100% sure how it will turn out. I had some mint still left out in my garden that was still looking healthy and green, surprisingly. So I went ahead and filled this up. What you do is this is the pot that you put the herbs and the water in. Ideally, it's about 3/4 full and the herbs are floating freely in the water so they don't get a burned smell or get pressed up against the copper when it's cooking. That right there on top is called the onion, and then the steam runs all through this and goes into the condenser. Once it hits there, as you can see, there's ice water, and I keep adding ice and cold water, and as it fills, it drains over there any extra water that I have to load this with. Then the steam will condense as it travels through there and then come out this tube and eventually make it into this jar. The one interesting thing is that you have to have the condenser and the pot at the same level. So depending on the height of your stove, you're going to have to, find an object that allows these to sit evenly. For me, it was just a little hot pot thing. And then you have to have the jar slightly lower than the condenser so that the water can make it in. When I ordered this kit, it came with one tube. And so I was able to cut the tubing to the lengths that I needed. And so I only needed a little bit over here. I needed it to be a little bit longer in order to reach the jar, which then gives me a little bit more leeway as well if I want to change the setup ever. So anyway, it's a pretty simple system. I just started it a few minutes ago, so it hasn't started running through. When it does, I'll turn the recorder back on and we'll get a chance to actually see it working. Okay, so it's starting to move through. You can see it here as it's hitting the condenser. So I think keeping it boiling, there's a little bit of steam coming out of there. I'm not quite sure. Again, this is the first time I've done it. So anyway, none has made it into the jar yet, but it is slowly working its way over. And I think it's been probably about 15 minutes since I started the heat. So anyway, I'll record again when I've got some more in the jar. All right, so we're finally going into the jar. It smells really minty and good in here. I don't think I quite have this jar down enough because it's having to work against gravity. So I'm going to fix that and give you a recommendation to do that. Get the jar just a little bit lower so it doesn't, as you can see, it kind of goes down and then it goes up right there, so it's getting trapped. Anyway, that's how to make hydrosols. Read my blog post about it. You can do it without this spiffy little still, but I do have a link to this because this was, well, first of all, I use it for decoration because I think it's beautiful, but also it's working much better than doing it on the stovetop. I can actually see the color in my hydrosol rather than it being just a clear water. This is definitely bringing out some of the oils that are coming into the water. All right, thanks for watching.